opportunities to teach other people parkour, like how to do it. Yeah, that's cool. And it's still, I mean, you've only been doing it, what, like a year and a half yourself or something like that at this point, right? So, 2 years. Well, the cool kind of thing about it is, you know, telling that story and you show up and you really have very little, almost no experience in this specific discipline, and yet you're able to, you know, kind of shine right out of the gate. It goes back to that theme of like, well, who are you? Like, you know, who is this guy? You know, the question, who is this guy? Well, you're showing us who you are. Like, this is at your core something that is, you know, you can almost make the argument that you were born to do, you know? Absolutely. And you just, I mean, even after graduating from business school, all you want to do is go down to the beach in the gym. You know, so you want to go do the high heel, do whatever everybody else wants to do. It's like your inner voice, your higher self is drawing you back to this place time and time again to show up here. And it's led you, you know, to some pretty cool places. So, yeah, it's so amazing. It's like, you know, following your passion, you know, I recommend this anyway. It's like following what your inner voice or what your guide is telling you to do will only, you know, lead you to, you know, the ultimate reality. It's so amazing that if you just go and try to follow your path, what you're supposed to do, like the doors will open up. Like, you know, it's amazing. Like, once you just kind of just like act more like a leaf in the wind, you know, like let yourself go in the river of life and like this is what you should be doing. It doesn't make sense maybe, but just do it. And like it's amazing that what doors will open up. And, you know, I said that in my book. I think I said the universe will conspire to support you. And I think the important thing also is that you have to be pure with yourself. You know, if you are not, if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself and you're disconnected from who you are, you may think you're following your inner muse or your inner voice, but there's a lot of static in there that you have to clear out first so that you can rely on that instinct and know that it is truly, you know, sort of the path for you. And that's a lot of work to get to that point where you can trust and have that faith that you're on the right path for yourself, even if it doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's, you know, the thing that I would stress the most is like I get real enjoyment through like the self-realization fellowship, which is a field I know is temple here in Los Angeles, which really kind of focuses on, you know, not anyone specific religion, but really focuses on, you know, finding your true path and who you are and looking internally. And it's something that I take great pride in every day is like looking internally for guidance as opposed to maybe from, you know, others or a book or any of that kind of stuff. It's just every day you gotta do what's fueling your passion, right? The self-realization fellowship is an amazing organization. They have a property in Pacific Palisades, a hotel over the Pacific Ocean. It was founded by a legendary, amazing yogi by the name of Paramahansa Yogananda, who was one of the earliest emissaries from the east to the west, who kind of, in many ways, introduced the west to yoga and kind of ancient healing practices. And he had quite a following to the United States in 1920, I think, and to California specifically in around 1925, and had an interesting following of people, you know, everybody from George Eastman, Johnny Kodak Camera, to, you know, some pretty cool cats back in the day, and was spreading his word of yoga, like long before, you know, now it's like you walk down the street, everybody's got a yoga mat. Well, he has a hand in why that is, and he built these incredible temples. There's one down in Encinitas on the ocean, which is why that surf point is called Swami's, because of his fellowship there. I think the original one was in Mount Washington, East LA. Yes, Mount Washington. But he was quite an amazing character, and for people who've never heard of him, I urge all of you to check out his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, which is one of my favorite books. I've read it at least 3 times. I'm sure you've probably read it more than once. It's a classic, it's a must. And you know, it's been an instrumental text in my kind of spiritual evolution, I would say. And there's all these crazy stories about it. I mean, I guess his core message really was transcending religion to find like the divinity in all disciplines and to create unity around that. And it begins and ends with meditation practices, really. And he has this lake shrine in the Palisades. And if you follow Travis on Instagram, he's not afraid to Instagram a photo now and again and meditating at the lake. Right. So how did you first sort of come into that practice? Well, driving up to Malibu every day for school, you know, I was always passing by it, but actually of all people, my mom told me about it, which was pretty awesome of her. But I went to kind of experience once, and I was like, you know, when you walk into a place and you just kind of feel at home, and I was like, you know, I was like, this is such a great energy, and it felt so at home. I was like, this is something I want to be back at as much as possible. So I tried to go there. What about you? It's beautiful. What's your history with? Well, I have a deep history with him. No, I would say he is one of the
Yeah, I mean, it would have been very easy for you to just say, oh, I can't beat this guy. He trains all day, he trains more than me. He knows certain things that I don't know. He's been doing it longer, and you can get into that like self-defeatist dialogue. Yeah. And then, you know, and then go tell somebody else and have them rubber stamp it and say, yeah, you're right, you did good, but you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to put that to rest and
get myself to sit down and be quiet for 20 minutes. Well, that's true, and we'll be exploring this more with each other as the weeks go on. But you know, there's actually a beautiful monk who we're going to be hosting at the house. His name is Vidya Hishananda, and he is from the high Himalayas, meditating in the caves in the northern Himalayas. And he shared very recently that you may go out and experience a run, and you may have a meditative experience, but running is not meditating. So he was very clear to point out to many of us that, you know, a lot of people are interchanging those two things and thinking that if I sing, I can lose myself, and I could say, well, that's meditation, or if I'm cooking, you know, and in the moment, that's meditation, or if you're training, that's meditation. But he's being very clearly distinguishing that is not meditation.